Hello viewers, here are two very unusual cordless telephones. The one on the left is a Sanyo and the one on the right is branded Quest, made by Vtech or the Vtech. What makes these two telephones very unusual is that they both have handset speakerphone, and that was very, very rare during the 900 MHz era. It wasn't until the 2.4 GHz era where handset speakerphones became quite common. And for years I have wanted a 900 MHz digital spread spectrum speakerphone because the shape of the yard here is very long, and I like to talk in the yard, and at the far end of the yard the only thing that will cover it is the 900 MHz digital spread spectrum. And if you're really going to have a long discussion, the speakerphone is nice to have, so you don't have to keep holding it to your ear. So I've searched for years and never really came up with anything. The closest that I could find to its existence was some of the earlier Uniden models. They had what's called they had the monitor function, where it would play the audio on the line through a loudspeaker, but there was no microphone, so that wouldn't help me in my use case. And then and it was around springtime this year, one of these telephones showed up. I forget what brand it was under. It might have been under the Vtech brand itself. And so I bought it, and it was fantastic. I took it outside and it went all the way down to the end of the yard by the mailbox, and the speakerphone worked good, and then it broke. I was only able to use it for like 2 calls. It broke before I could even get any video of it, and it had pre-existing issues though. The screen was broken and other functions behaved a little wonky. This one, the screen is not broken. The buttons are a little bit hard to press, but they're all working. Okay, take that back. They're not all working. Well, they are working. They're just very difficult to press. But this phone, I believe, is working. So if I can get this cleaned up and it doesn't break, you know, it's a shame that some of these Vtech phones just weren't that reliable yet, because this is a really cool model, and if this was a really reliable, solid phone, this would be probably one of my most used pieces. But sadly, the reliability of Vtech just doesn't go anywhere near close to the reliability of Uniden. Now this brand, this Quest brand, is something that I look for every now and again, because Quest, I'm not really sure what that is, but I've seen many phones, reputable name brand Uniden phones in particular, spread spectrums, sold under this Quest brand, and sometimes they come at a cheaper price because people don't always recognize the brand. So I do search for Quest phones on occasion, and I guess I will do so more often, especially now that I know that this model is sold under Quest as well. So moving on to this one, the Sanyo one. I don't want to take it out of the box in this video. I'll do another video for that. But I have purchased a telephone very similar to this one. I don't remember if it came from the Canada or not. This one, I believe, did come from the Canada, and the other one that I'm talking about was a 46 to 49 MHz analog, or Anitan, and that one also had the handset speakerphone, and the handset was the same kind of physical stature as this one is. And so I bought that one, and it kind of weird. The microphone sensitivity wasn't right, so I wrote to the seller and I told them it doesn't work right, and they were a little snarky about the reply, because they said, well, the phones are sold as is, untested, but I'll send you another one. And rightfully so, because they listed the item as new, and on eBay, according to their terms, an item that's listed as new has to work. So if you list an item as new and you say it's untested, it's expected to work whether you tested it or not. So anyways, they agreed to send out another one. A couple of weeks went by and it never received it, so I wrote to them again and they said they made up some excuse with some weird verbiage. They said it fell through the cracks or something like that. And so then a couple of weeks went by and we're at where we are now, and I still haven't received the second one, so I guess it's time to write to them again and find out what the holdup is. But anyways, I have no idea what to expect for this telephone. I'm slightly less interested in this one because the Quest one has the caller ID, which is nice to have, and it also is really cool because it has a retractable antenna. I just think that's really neat. So anyways, I'm very curious to see how good the performance of this Sanyo one is. I don't have a lot of experience with Sanyo phones, and I'm overall just not that familiar with them. From what I understand, they're more common in Canada, but they're not so common where I'm at. So anyways, there's two 900 MHz digital digitan spread spectrum cordless phones. We'll have some more videos on both of these models to come. Thank you for watching.